Just because I got a project at 2 million doesn't necessarily mean I now afford a car at 2.5 million.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's one of the things that tend, and the society that we live in, the pressure that we get. Because in society, it's all about what you have, you know? It's all about what you can buy. It's all about what you can spend. Do you understand? It's the status, yeah. So that's those are the key things that normally lead to a lot of downfalls. I'm also a victim of that because in 2015 I was audited.
Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. 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 Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza Mntase sithi Mntase Qhakaza. Qhakaza. Qhakaza.
Sanbonani Tumelanga Sheni, hello. And Budlonavo, I was actually reprimanded last time. At home, they said I greeted everyone in every language except in Afrikaans. So I must say, goeiemorgen, goeiedag, and hello to all our viewers joining us today. Today, we have a panel of young entrepreneurs, young business people coming through to deliver knowledge once more on Qhakaza Mntase, on our business segment here at the Backyard Empowerment Sunday Poiki Sessions, here at the Smart Diva Accommodations in Quigney, in the East London, in the Eastern Cape. Putlonabo, shall you introduce yourself to your lovely audience as per usual, Dad?
Thanks very much, Davion. Diabolisa, from the viewers out there, I'm looking forward for this tonight's episode with our two guests that will share business abo, and I had a glimpse interview with them aside in at the back end, and they told me when about umsebenzi abawenzayo, and I'm sure the viewers out there, they will be inspired and they will learn a lot namhlanje. Thank you very much.
That is perfect. I think what I'll do, mine then, is to do the segue into our guests, into meeting each and every single one of you. What I'll do is I'll just give your names and a brief summary, and then you guys can get into it. Tell us a little bit more about who you are, what you do. On my left, I have Uput, Kabelo, Brandon. Mokoena, yes, Mokoena. See, sometimes, live television, guys, these things, they happen. Put KB for now.
Yeah.
Yes, Put KB is in the denim industry. So that gives us fashion, that gives us manufacturing, that gives us so many avenues to go into, to delve into who exactly you are, where this came from. On my right-hand side, we have Butsipelele. Isiphile, xolo wethu. Yey. Isixhosa sam guys. Ayabonakala. But Isiphile is an entrepreneur, technically a business mogul, data. A business mogul, because at some points you are an entrepreneur when you have one or two businesses. But when there is a list of businesses to be found to your name, then we should call you a mogul. So from one mogul to another, you guys will align. You will align. And yes. But KP, just give us a brief summary of who you are, your background, and talk to the viewers at home.
Okay. Hello, Bahlali, team. You forgive me, identity team, from my background, okay. Originally, Kabelo, Brandel Mokoena, from Mpumalanga, Bushbuck Ridge. After matric, varsity, military. Been in the military for 9 years. I was in the South African Navy, submarine squadron. And then, only got greener pastures when last year, June. In July, I moved to East London. It's my 10th month in East London. The business side of things started back then in the military. Because in the military, you just go in, then you can disappear.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything wrong in military, but you just need to know how to do it. Yeah, I just need to know how to do it. That's when I noticed, no man, I have so much time on my hand, on my side. There's things in ukuziyenza. Qale kancane nje. Started with what? Branded water. Used to supply branded water. Maybe one well-known establishment, Peter's Kitchen, it's in Waterfront. I used to supply him with water. Remember, it also goes with who do you know, how do you connect with the people. So the link was, we are all from Mpumalanga and Limpopo side.
Sure.
Yeah, so started with the water. And besides, before starting, he was umuntu estrata.
Okay.
And from him, I used to source things from him until he was like, hey, but I mean, I'm tired now because you always want things that they are not for you, but they're for other people.
Yeah.
I'll plug you direct. Oh. Then, that's where it all started. Also, one of my mentors, Undosi, Maseko.
Yeah.
Maseko, I got him in the Navy.
Yeah.
Funny enough, Sahlangane Jimini, we connected. Like, hey, bro, I'm planning on opening a lounge nani. I need someone with your energy. Zwagal, sharp. That's where now the entertainment side of things started. I'll tell you concept here, Denim Friday.
Yeah.
I've been a denim lover, like, Mina, ever since. I've been a denim lover, and I tell you, go yeah, wake up, go, smell nice, or what. Yeah, especially when it comes to denim.
Yeah.
Oh, and then I tell you, but I mean, there's a concept I'm thinking we must start. Denim Fridays. Started Denim Fridays. And we think Denim Fridays, like, bruh, this thing is growing. So what's the next move? Bruh. That's when Tsepo popped out. Tsepo is one of the inspirations that made me to start Costa Denim.
Sure.
Oh, Tsepo, the gin maker popped up. I'm like, this is possible. I'm starting a denim brand as well.
Yeah.
Started my denim brand, Pusha. Undosi gave me an opportunity to go to, rather than me having your energy in my lounge, Zizama Oka pipe and get to generate money. Then will be my 2IC. You don't even have to pay rent.
Yeah.
Big events, I'll stand by the gate, collect money. Then we end pay Kemlungi, obvious. Yeah. And the water with Kylie Chet was like my 4 establishments that I was supplying them a month. Background educational wise, I'm a technician. Hence that's what brought me like East London. Currently I'm working as a wind turbine technician. Vestas, R72 PE site, Kumcha, Grahamstown. Those are the sites in 7 Zaguzo. The business back, it's not simple. I call simple. Because remember, we have that 99% and that 1%. We are that 1% in us. So I call simple. I've broken, I pagamisa, have a right food. But then it's very interesting because you get to learn every day. Even though you can't keep track of the money sometimes, because now you make money, you must put it on something else. Because you want different streams of income.
Yeah.
It also comes with the problem. You're 7 to 5 plus strata.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what you take with these guys, but then someone once told me with the energy you put in, if you didn't have your job, those who figure out will call. Now, your businesses will be booming. Zenza, what you desire them to do. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's an interesting point when KB. I think I'm gonna deeper and talk about that because it focus and having juggled so many things at once. Businesses. I think kasingena deeper sakwazi ungcola ngaso lonto yabo. Thanks when Qhakaza Isiphile.
Benya.
Kuthiwa you are a serial entrepreneur.
Uzanileqisa ngabantu. Uzanihijekisa
Tell us more Qhakaza ke sive abaphulaphuli babukeli babone ba exactly who's Isiphile.
Hey, but firstly I'm not a business cool. Thanks for the compliment, my chief. Well, my name is Isiphile Benya. I'm an entrepreneur. My first passion was events. I'm a promoter. I started doing events back in 20. I was in high school, by the way. I organized metric dance. Yeah. So what made me interested in events was, Qhakaza metric, everyone contributes. Yabo? So everyone contributed a certain amount of money. Then we booked the artist, I think it was PK, the late PK, and some other artists at the time. So now, because no one really understood about event, yenzwa kanjani, classmates all they were wanted is to have fun. Now, I used to see posters, but no man, events ungenwa ngemali. And there has to be a way you control abantu, because abanye ababhadalanga abanye ngaba bazi classmates, yabo. Then ndamava 18 and collected money, generated money, and I realized, but no man, this you can make money out of this. And to my surprise, no one asked me a single cent the day after. Ndabama no man, as this I can think ngale way. Then I developed a passion for events. Yabo. I started that was back in 2012-11. Went into varsity, the passion grew. I got to meet PK on a personal level, which I was groomed by him. May his soul rest in peace. So that's where I first got the light. So I started doing events, big scale events in 2015. We launched the LI Entertainment at Swat Lounge. We had Caspanyo Vest. That year we brought Caspanyo Vest, we brought AKA, we brought KO, we brought Black Motion, we did Black Coffee the entire year. So it was one artist at a time. So that's where most of my experience came from. And then in 2016 I moved and came to East London. We did an event that had Joy Celebration in 2016 on the I think beginning October. It was Take Me to Church, it was Gospel Festival. We brought Joy Celebration. And we're still the only promoters to book a celebration in the Eastern Cape. And I don't think I'll book it again, by the way, because it's very strenuous. But it's an experience that you take home at the end of the day. So that's a portion of the profile I'm in entertainment. And then upon growing, I decided to venture into other sectors. So I'm also an entrepreneur. I'm into construction. I've got a grade 4 in CE. I've got a security company. Then I also developed, I was also glued into student accommodation in Mthatha. So I'm also in those sectors. But generally, I'm a bit diversified, but I'm not yet more cool. I'm getting there. I know I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
No, you see, it's when they use those big English words. I am diversified. I have a diversified portfolio. That's where you know it's called for.
No.
Thanks for those brief introductions, because I feel like that's very critical for our viewers to hear.
Yeah.
Where these types of things originate from, because it started off as something as simple as these people aren't being charged to come into this event. So let me stand in that gap. So for people, for us personally, as young people, it's always so good to hear where these small ideas and things originate from. Because as someone would be coming to you, as someone who comes from the military, which is a very stringent, very strict, very meticulous background, how would you then say it has influenced you in business? Because me personally, I would think that kind of stringent, rigid discipline would lend itself extremely to, let's say, starting up your own company, getting involved in business. So how would you say that has failed you in terms of your business?
Well, in the military, everything is always subject to change. Taught me to adopt quickly and go with situations as they go. Same goes to business. I can make 100K now, tomorrow it's gone. I'm in a debt of 200,000. So discipline, hardship, and also taking things as they come, be it hard or good. It was not a simple one. especially the training. Oh, it's very strenuous. Whereas with me, I did, when I joined, 3 months as a rating, and then it took me for officers to qualify as a naval technical officer. Every morning, wake up 4 o'clock, go for a run, jump into the water, go for breakfast. Your day is starting just like that. By 7, your bed must be made and ironed. We used to have a seam on the side. Yeah. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity in military, because throughout wherever I go, I see the things I learned from it. Because a day comes in different ways. You wake up in the morning and you find halfway during the day you're down. But then now there, however, whether you're good or what, you must just go with it. There's this other warrant that used to say, the big waves are coming. Just make sure you keep your head above water. So I'll conclude by saying that the military has taught me to keep my head above water in all circumstances.
Survival of the fittest.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, interesting, KB. Since we're talking about doing so many things and also having a 8 to 5 job, my question will be, do you think anytime soon you will be able to jump and leave the job and focus on your business entrepreneurship? Because obviously it's something that is here, and somehow there will be time whereby now we're saying, but hey, focus on my something that I love, something I'm passionate about, more especially the jeans, because the brand now is growing. The Costa jean is becoming a serious brand, and I've seen the kind of work that you are doing and so forth. So it needs as a focus 100%. So do you think into is soon, or you worried about securities and other things?
Hey, I'm hoping. Okay, one thing with the new job I got is, okay, my supervisor now is street-minded. Yeah, and he's in the taxi industry, but however, he's looking at other things. It's like an everyday conversation. You can't always be a plan must come out. Yeah. Either or. It will depend on the plan. Okay, well, let's say you want to go for greener pastures. Yeah. Yes, it's green on the other side. But at the end of the day, I still want to do something that I love. My freedom, get to wake up, view my email, check how many orders am I getting, and I'm hoping that I get that chance to think like I'm leaving this. Things, even the Spanish it's very demanding. Yeah. It's either I'm on site or I'm home tired, sleepy. So it's a matter of just getting out of the things that I'm doing. The denims being number one. Should I see myself having a workshop where I do my denims and also run CMT services? Yeah. There's something that you want to sue, you bring it to us, we do them. We do it for you. One, yes, that I'll do. The other thing that would make me to decide that no, it's fine, I'm leaving. I'm in the property sector as well. Yeah. There's one property I have at home. Also looking at getting more. Should I have enough properties that I'm happy with the money that's coming in? And then I would say, no, I'm China, it's fine now. You can stop this technician thing and just focus on the street.
Okay.
As you can see, I feel like there is a concurrent theme here. Whenever there is an element of success in any sort of business avenue, property is the first thing that comes up. Property is the first thing that comes up. Tata, you describe yourself as an entertainer and as a promoter. But with that said, you have started a number of businesses, and I feel like this is where we can get a bit more into the serious elements of the nitty-gritty, bogged down into it. Where would you say are some of the pitfalls that young entrepreneurs tend to fall into when starting up a business of any sort? Because one of the biggest stats is that most small to medium enterprises don't make it out of the first 2 to 5 year period. So where is it that you, as a young person who is still relatively young in business, who's launched all of these companies, where do you see your peers going wrong, and where do you see even younger business people coming up? Where do you see the pitfalls for them?
Well, I think thanks for the question, my man. I think there's some things that we are not taught at school, we are not taught in society, we are generally not taught as primarily black people in particular, or black young people, when we go into business. One, it's discipline. That's number one. Number two, I'd say it's discipline. Amongst other things, disciplines entails how to be able to manage your business, your finances. Just because I got a project at 2 million doesn't necessarily mean I now afford a car at 2.5 million.
Yes.
Do you understand? That's one of the things that tend, and the society that we live in, the pressure that we get. Because in society, it's all about what you have, It's all about what you can buy. It's all about what you can spend. Do you understand? It's the status, yeah. So that's those are the key things that normally lead to a lot of downfalls. I'm also a victim of that, because in 2015 I was audited. I owed SARS close to 3 million. I had to take a drastic change in my life. I had to sell a lot of assets that I had, get back from scratch, try and rebuild. That was all because, and SARS was not wrong, because they wanted what was theirs. It's just that I was ill-disciplined. I was flaunting. I was much more young and naive. So that's I think that's the basic, or that's what we are not taught, because each day, like you are saying, small businesses don't make it. And there's a lot of opportunities in South Africa for small businesses, by the way. Yes, we've got a lot of challenges in South Africa, but there are opportunities. It's just that when you get those opportunities, we normally tend to mismanage, all the opportunities and the finances. So that's why we mostly get it wrong. There's a friend of mine who I started business with, and we are still peers, we're still friends. We're having this discussion, I think, about a couple of months ago, to say that, some first world class countries, there are organizations and there are initiatives that are solely focused on teaching young entrepreneurs these basic principles. We don't have them in South Africa. Yes, we have NYDA that will help you to get funding, but they don't necessarily teach you how to manage those funds. That is why you find a lot of people abapunyolongorafo who win lotto broke 2 years later. Yeah, it's because they don't. Yeah, you need to learn the trade of money. You need to understand the basic principles that if you have 2 million today, because there's a wise man who used to say it's easy to make 2 million. The difficult part is to spend and keep 2 million. Do you understand? So those, for me, out of the experience that I have, I think that's what still, is a challenge to most of us. And maybe if government or whoever, or the successful entrepreneurs can understand that is also a big challenge for small businesses. And I'm sure if we can have initiatives or, mechanisms in place to teach us exactly these things, that when you start making it, when Sepo starts selling 5,000 jeans a year, then how do you manage this? How do you stay consistent? How do you manage and keep your clientele happy? Do you understand? So on my side, I think that's the biggest challenge that we face as business people. And also, there's pressure. I've touched base on that. Yeah, but I think to sum it up, that's the big chunk. We really need to society to discuss that, And also, I dropped out of varsity in I was doing my second year doing PR. I decided to go back because another factor is literacy. School is very important. There's a misconception in society that you don't need school as long as you make money. No, you will miss a lot of critical, important principles. That is why most of successfully business people, You find out most of them dropped out of varsity. They go back later. You know, yeah, they always go back later. You rarely find a serious billionaire illiterate, you know? So that's another critical aspect, because you find a lot of people dropping out of even high school now, saying that I'm going to do business because Bonutaban is doing it in business. It's wrong, you know? We need to conscientize society that dropping out of school and going to business. I mean, going to business is not an excuse for you to drop out of school. So those are some of the challenges that I think as young people who get into business are facing. And, you know, they are really, they are a result of a lot of young entrepreneurs' downfalls. Yeah, you know.
Dave, ubone uhleli up as a hosting athi ngoku ngasendweva la Thailand manje. No, Isiphile unyanisile. So these points are called, they are serious challenge Qhakaza. And we here kwenzele sizokwazi ufundisa nabanye abantu kuba eqala business things afanele zijongile. I'm trying ngoku ndiyabala lapha kum ke ngokuba Qhakaza, if I heard you right, 2012, around 2012 we were starting a business or we're in high school. By 2015, 2016, you were already owing Qhakaza 3 million. I'm like, hey, this entertainment and promotion was
no.
These are big artists because just calling you Black Hole for your Casper. Just imagine imali ozayenza cause So no, I understand you why now you are this serial entrepreneur. You had so much challenges and you ended up owing, and coming back from owing usaz like 3 million rands is not child's play. Other people they don't even come back and so forth, and it is important uba sikwazi ukufundisa abantu more about these challenges and that's why we're having this podcast Qhakaza Mntase. We want to shine the light on you, but also educate abantu ba kabeqala business zithini into abafuneka bazi-experience it. So you've mentioned about NYDA and your fellow guy Kabelo naye ebesithi uyafuna ukwenza le business kakuhle, but I was wondering ba yena do you know about all these things ba ukho OSIDA, OSIFA, NYDA abo indoni ezizithwazi red ECDC zininzi nezabatsha ke ezenziwa i-provincial government and so forth. So zininzi ezinto zikhoyo, and you are new in Eastern Cape, and up Eastern Cape, yes, in Western Cape is not that much. Yes, uyancedwa, but abantu abaninzi abahambi through those lines. But here in Eastern Cape actually ziyasebenza, and I'm thinking now ba abaphathi, they must allow us to call on abantu from these organizations, by branch managers, SETA, and so forth, so that they can share about zinto nabazenzayo for a business. Because out of everyone is a interview baba needs challenges, and sometimes because your brand is very strong, and I so wish ungakwazi ukuphuma ufocus kuyo full time, but obviously awukwazi vele uyeke nje isonga sakho sesemsebenzini yabo. But then if zikhona i-organization out there ezincedisana ne-business bazikhule, by all means funeka ukwazi ukuthi go through udlule kuzo. So do you know more about them bakwenzeka ntoni ngazo, just curiosity, for curiosity reasons?
Yeah, I have an idea. Yeah, so yes, you apply and apply. Sometimes you don't even get it. You become lucky sometimes. But the major problem was being a government employee. Yeah, that was the major problem. Because there's a chance hopefully they're not going to arrest me. There's a chance, there's something I once did just to see how is it going to be now. But then Chigi, I got a letter from Auditor General. Oh, must declare, bro, what's happening here? Oh, so now I've been giving myself a period maybe of 12 months since now I'm in private. Then I can start applying for these grants and fundings. Because recently there was one that I tried to apply for, I say Mpumalanga, Office of the Prim, for funding. Then didn't go well. The government background still appears. Lama system kaloku, even if we lie, once they punch the ID number, it goes with everything. Yeah, that's my only challenge that I have at the current moment. But then, however, I'm looking forward to applying for fundings and get to be part of Zone. I'm a government program that give grants and get to Uti help the youth in growing their business. Yeah.
Oh no, that's perfect. But I want to get to what Mr. Benya was talking about. Lendoka SARS, because I feel like us as black people, we aren't taught the necessity of credit. We aren't taught the necessities of being able to account for your money, being able to do basic levels of accounting. Not to say you need an entire accounting degree, but you must be able to say this is what came in, this is what went out. Yeah. So please tell me, Tata man, when it comes to the importance of credit as a businessman who has multiple businesses under your name, how important is it for you to have a viable credit score for you to be able to move in these spaces?
Well, yeah, that's a very important point that you touch based on. It's very important to keep a healthy credit score, but at the same time, it's extremely difficult to do that in business because one, there's no consistency as a small business. Lanwiti, you'll have an income of 500,000 for 3 months, and then for the next 3 months you won't have anything. And banks, they want to see consistency. And now, to keep a healthy credit score and a credit profile, if you took a loan from the bank, you need to service it. The banks don't care about whether you got your payment late or earlier. They will need you to service it. So that's another tricky aspect. And also, it's now very difficult to get that same credit if you are unemployed or self-employed. So the state again, because there's this, I think the EFF once raised this about a state-owned bank. I think such a bank would really help in such instances, because for you to be able to get credit from the bank, one, the bank can never give you credit on the basis of you having an idea. You can't go on your pen and paper and say you have an idea and get money. No. Whereas in some countries, it should be. For instance, KB has an idea. He can come with a watertight proposal that this will generate money over a period of 5 years. But the banks will never budge to that. The banks will need to see a good credit profile. They want your 6 months bank statements showing that you have an income of a certain amount for them to loan you. Now, as a small business, where will you get such? If you register a business tomorrow, you go into business. Obviously, you don't have a good credit profile. Do you understand? So that's some of the things that I think should be addressed on a national level, so that to give funding. Yes, we do have entities like NYDA and so forth, but they're not enough. Yes. You do need the banks to be the biggest role players, because they are very key in the economy. So that aspect. But again, also going back to your question, when you get that credit score, when you get that credit, it's also important, for you to be guided on how to keep it. One, also don't overborrow. Another thing that me personally and some other businesses is affordability. Sometimes we don't know what we afford. Because just because the bank offers you 300,000 now, because of the money that has been coming in the past few months, that you might be over borrowing. And you find out 2 months down the line, you can't service the credit. Yes. They come and take everything and they attach you. Do you understand? So that's also another challenge, So it goes back to what I was saying. We need, we need a lot of initiatives and education in that aspect in place, so that we can be able to know these things, as opposed to the white community. You find out they are born into privilege. They are born in farms. They learn this thing from birth. That is why you really find those people in depth or facing the challenges that we face. It's because they were groomed and they were taught the pros and cons of running a multi-million empire. Do you understand? But for us, ukhulele kasi, you start seeing 20,000 when you work. And then you want to tell me that you'll be able to manage 2 million. It's really a myth. Do you understand? So those are the challenges that we face. And I think those, if we can have mechanisms like this, we can be able to remedy the situation. Yeah.
It's what my father would refer to as wealth illiteracy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's very prominent within non-white communities. Because we are illiterate of what to do with wealth, we are illiterate with how to grow wealth, we are illiterate on how to manage wealth in and of itself. So when it is expected for us to create generational wealth, it becomes
difficult. It becomes difficult. Which is one of the reasons to add on which is one of the reasons why we have a lot of corruption in South Africa. It's because these politicians don't have background of, money. Everyone, they are not accustomed to wealth. Sometimes I see all these things in the newspapers, and to some degree I don't blame some of them, because this guy probably was a councillor, he was a taxi driver before being a councillor, he came from exile. The first paycheck is when he got into government. And there's a lot of people who look up to him and, who depend on him back at home. So this guy really needs this money. And you put some people like those in power, you're shooting yourself in the foot. So generally in society, we've got that big problem. Yeah.
Devian, talking about this is a very important issue or subject. To a point, I think COVID. Obviously, most of our business, including mine, were affected. So, Ngugu, I think one of the things that helped me, I read, I think it's an 8-hour course about wealth from a company called The Wealth. So it talks about wealth, and it's a very simple and basic, but it says 96% of South Africans are broke. And we're talking about white and black, so it's only 4%, including white and black.
Including
so
white and black.
Maybe get white get 3.5 but tell me, do we have, if 5,000 a call you in your bank, not on credit card and so forth,
in your bank,
just 5,000.
Exactly.
And mind you, okay, we are serious business people. That's just something, but 5,000 for rainy days. And now, but what's nice about that course, brothers, and I, through our party, I want to make sure that each and every guest is another thing can have up between 20 and 50. So the cost is about 5,000 rand.
Okay.
It's only 8 hours, but if value corner changed my life, and we're talking about long. But in the phone and for man, when the nine is of share Shanghai, and I'm sure it's an cool because of it changed my life, and I know that. If we chat, you must do it with your partner. If you chat or on your own, but it's a good course and so forth, and dictator about all these things and so forth. And Sundays, last week we're having a table maybe with 10 full of doctors. Now I'm sure back corner, and you'll find out these are Batman's internship. We are going to say Kabelo founder. So I think pay anything from dating up and so forth. And I think Batman's intern for 2 years. And you find out that all these companies before Bapume school in a year before the figure payers all the credits. So others are driving our Rupa, BMS
already
and already
you can't go down.
So this thing of financial freedom is very important. We need to learn those things. Business to make sure I understand. Both of you guys, I see you have isn't similar. You were in entertainment now and promotions and running game lounge, doing about denim Fridays, and also now you're talking about the properties and all those things. And the challenge we're sitting unayo right now, you are able to do i-jeans when orders malamali uyithatha uyifaka kwenye into oyenzayo or imali property yakho i-rentals uyithatha uyifake phaya and so forth. So it's another thing confusayo ungayaziyo, and mhlekazi wena ngoku having these businesses nansi security nayo sometimes ke kube dry, sometimes vele ingene ngayingena imali ke ya security hey ingene serious. So I'm sure but there were a lot of learnings mhlambi you can share with Kabelo kwenzela ucinga yena angenza njani kule meko, because most business people are going through that, but yes yangena into nibambe lena and then yangena but ngithatha apha ndodibanisa phandi peche inga bhataleki in time okanye ngenzeka into ethile uthola ukuthi ngoku sengxakini kuzo zonke izonto. So wena kwi-experiences zakho along those things buye uphume njani okanye wenza njani?
Now I'm still learning, Kulwana. I really can't tell you direct as to what is the solution to that, but all I can say is that back to the point I was also driving the latest of golf R's. I had to change the lifestyle, you know. So there's a lot of things that you know, from time to time as a person you need to do introspection. You know, and there's a saying that says if you keep on buying things you want, you'll have to sell the things you need at some point. So that's another take home that I can share with Kabelo, that now I realize there's a lot of things that I didn't need in my life. The car that I'm driving now is okay, and it was okay when so once you start making money, there's that pressure that you need to be seen to be driving this car. So do away with those things, you know, grow the business first, reinvest in the business, and also try and be disciplined. It's very difficult. I still commit those mistakes today, but you know, it's also important that we enlighten one another and you learn. At least the most important thing is that the mistake you did yesterday, you shouldn't repeat that mistake. If you do another mistake, it should be a new mistake. Do you understand? So you learn from your mistakes, and also you need to be resilient when you're in business. No one talks about that, because you go to bed depressed every day, my guy, when you are in business. Things don't work out, but people, when they see you there, it's glitz and glamour. There's a downside. You know, there's a downside. You get frustrated. You've got a bill, a payroll, a 200,000 for this. Make an example monthly. At the end of the month, you don't get paid. Imagine the personnel that will be calling you. So you need to keep your head above the water. You need to try and make sure that when you go to bed, you find something that will inspire you. Do you understand? That's what I try to keep myself going. So those are some of the things that I think I can share at the moment. But most importantly, be disciplined, absorb the pressure. That now that you've got a gin business, you need to buy a C63. No, you haven't got in there. Yeah, you will buy it ultimately, because yeah, but know when it is the right time. Yeah, I said wrong was saying, but know when it is the right time. Grow the business first, you know. So those are the most important principles that I think each and every one of us needs to learn, primarily in business. Yeah, and also I think more than anything, is that, you know, these people are successful, man. Yeah, because in business you have to have a mentor. You can't do what you don't know. That's where you'll do a lot of mistakes. Because now with my challenges with the revenue, I then got a mentor. I did have a mentor, but I got a mentor on this side of the business. Yes. He taught me the importance of having an accountant and understanding that this is a very important sector. If financial zamnandi has interpreted ngwam, accountant is tumela and this interpreting ngwam, but back then I'll just tell him, hey chief, to woman, as long as I was patala, submit. But with that, he taught me a very important lesson. Before he submits them, I scrutinize myself, and sometimes I tell me, chief, no man, you shouldn't be, this is wrong. Turn them up. Declare this, because in the long run it will come back to haunt me. So those are the things that we need to understand. Yeah, the balancing, the discipline when you deal with the banks, discipline when you deal with your clientele, discipline when you deal with the revenue. Yeah, the accounting and bookkeeping is a very important sector in business that we overlooked in. But in big businesses, we was once in these big businesses, nobody taking into 50 rand, we sleep, and ungasigxothelwe saslip thina uswipe nge-business card apha espa ngoku nge-100 usilahle so slip yebo. Those things they come back later in life. So that's the to sum it up, I think we just need to develop those principles in those sectors. Then definitely people like me and Kabelo will be able to move forward.
Takebi, before we actually wrap it up, because I feel like we've delved in extensively and we've carried on a bit. Takebi, please let's actually get directly into Lendu Yenzayo. Like, yes, let's talk about Costa Jeans, because I feel like we've had a very generalized business conversation, but that is very critical to what young people as entrepreneurs need. But now let's speak about your industry specifically, because there is so much that just goes into it, Budlonwabo, because it's marketing, it's brand recognition, it is quality control. How do you make sure that out of 10,000 pairs of jeans, every single pair of jeans is the same exact quality, so that they can know outside, Yoba, if I buy Costa jeans, this is the quality that I expect from them. So just speak to us about that process from a manufacturing standpoint all the way to a brand recognition standpoint. How has that been for you as a young businessman starting up, getting your thing out there and having it recognized by abanye abantu?
It hasn't been simple, because first things first, the quality is the one that matters.
Yes.
Where you source your denim, that's key. Initially, Lesotho, Mauritius, those are the places where you get good quality denim.
Yes.
Up until I got to be part of the denim societies, there's denim hits. Like if you look at the denim culture in South Africa, it's slowly elevating. Hence it becomes simple for me to say, no, I'm starting a denim brand based on Bali. The brand I saw good, I know is good. Let's do this. Let's grow the denim culture. It's been a challenge, because when I was in Cape Town, I had to drive to Joburg to source denim fabric. And now when I go there, I need to make sure I buy close to 50 to 100 meters. In Cape Town, everything was fine. It was good. I had my CMT team that was doing everything for me. Now the challenge came this side when I came here. It's been a challenge, and I've been scratching my head for some time, trying to get the CMT to do the sewing for me. Because remember, you have the 7 to 5, and then you have to make sure that I can't have a machine I come back tired.
Yes.
So the best thing is to get the CMT, and then now the quality control, that's where it comes in now, where I have to check if the product they've done, is it according to my specifications? Am I happy with it? Because either or, there's always those small things. I'm one person, I like paying attention to detail, especially when it comes to denim.
Yes.
So that's the challenge that I used to have back in Cape Town. Yeah, I haven't got the CMT as yet. But I'm even thinking of going to an extent of just buying a machine, have it at the house, make an ad, get someone that will come and sew there at the house. That's where I'm standing now. But then either or, there is material, the branding stuff, I do have it. The only problem is carrying on now with someone that's going to do the CMT services for me. Because I get someone, I know, I want to, can I see your work? They send the work, but then it's not meeting the standard. Because denim is something that when someone buys it, it must carry on with it and carry on telling a story. Carry on telling a story. Because, example, when I'm wearing it, it's always telling a story.
Yes.
It's always telling a story. So at the end of the day, denim, clothing, it's all about telling a story. Hence, quality control needs to be on point always.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm interested in your jeans then, and what story are you trying to tell? Kwenzele the viewers, including us, this is beautiful, and I've seen ezinye, but also I wanna support. But the story part is very important. I'm part of that story. So what story we would like viewers to know about Costa jeans?
It's for the culture, cause the items themselves, they're handcrafted and made with love.
Sure.
There's a saying that says local is lekker. It's high time we start wearing local. I don't know Giorgio Armani, I don't know Gucci, I don't know Philip Plain. Now when they started, they were just like Costa Denim. But then you get us consuming them la emzansi. So what I'm pushing, we get to take what we do la emzansi, our local and lekker, take it outside there.
Yes. That is a beautiful sentiment, but Luna, because that is one thing that we as South Africans fail to do as a whole. We don't support one another. We don't support local brands, but it's the only way that we will grow and develop as a country, as an industry, wherever you look. And I think that's why these backyard empowerment sessions hosted at Smart Diva are so critical, because these are the places where you network and you find those people that you need. You find that quality that you need, and you find mentors, people who have been in business longer than you, people who have dealt with these types of pitfalls. And I think that actually concludes our proceedings today. But what I do want is any last words from you guys, something that you wish to inspire young people through, something that you just would like to put out there into the universe, as well as where can we find you guys on social media? Where can we follow your businesses, on which platforms? Give us a plug.
Okay, Costa Denim, we are on Instagram. It's Costa_Denim.
Yes.
Yeah, and then, only on Instagram. And then what I would like to say in closing, hey, this life thing was never simple.
Never.
It was never simple. It doesn't come with a manual. One, stay away from society. Like the 99% versus 1% I was talking about earlier on. The 1% is not that simple to jump into it. There's a lot of things that you need to drop in between and change so that you can be part of that 1%. And once you're in that 1%, everything goes.
So, Putlonabo, I'm about to do a shameless plug here, if you'll allow me, because with all of those partnerships that we're looking at, it would be very nice if we could, mhlambe, on our wall of partnerships, have a Costa jeans somewhere. so maybe at the end credits, one of these days, you'll just see they're sponsored by Costa jeans. We'll do the plug.
Thank you so much, man. Firstly, gentlemen, for this opportunity. Ne? So, something I forgot to mention. We've got a pop-out lounge in Mthatha. So it's called Prime Lounge. Yeah, we recently hosted an event. We had Oskambo on the 20th of May. We're also doing an event. Yes. Poster should come up this coming week. So the page of the lounge is prime_pop-up_lounge. Prime_pop-up_lounge. Yeah, so you can follow me there. I don't wanna my personal Instagram handle is Benya. Yeah, just Benya, because I'm thinking that
we'll plug all of that. Production team, we're looking at you.
Sure. So yeah. But what I think I'd like to share is, in business, let's try and be strong, man. And society must understand that this is not an easy industry. It's not easy to be an entrepreneur. You know, it requires a lot of resilience. It requires a lot of fighting. Yeah, but most importantly, to all the young entrepreneurs out there who would love to get into the business space, no, they should come. It has a fair share of challenges, but it's doable. We are still here. Nage, I live from business. I've never been employed, by the way. So I just went home from varsity. I started business at a very tender age. Yes. That is one of the reasons why I had these challenges that I had. So it's doable. You can be able to live out of business, because the reality is that South Africa has no jobs. You know, the job where we were amongst the most unemployed, the most countries with the highest unemployment in the world. Yeah. So we need to encourage a lot of young businesses, as much as there's a lot of challenges to get into business. Yeah. But what it requires resilience, it requires discipline. And it requires one to focus and understand that if you are to get into business and be successful, you have to sacrifice a lot of things. So be disciplined, be prepared for the sacrifice, the sleepless nights, and also you need to be resilient. Yeah.
Gentlemen, thank you once again for gracing us with your presence. Thank you guys for coming out and sharing your wisdom, your expertise, your knowledge. Putlonabo, as per usual, thank you for being my co-host with your delightful self. Guys, one thing again, follow us on social media, like, subscribe to all our pages, Facebook, YouTube, Qhakaza Mntase across all platforms. Tough Media would be our motherboard. So please go out there, like, share, comment, subscribe, because at the end of the day, these interviews are for you guys to engage with and to get something from. So Putlonabo, is there anything that you would like to add before we out? You are good. I think for now, everybody knows, as per usual with our business segment, we have our last plugs after the fact. So please don't go anywhere, as we'll be setting up for our business plug segment at the end of the show. But gentlemen, thank you once again. Sidi Qhakaza Mntase.
Thank you. Thanks, Chris.
That was a lot of talking. Am I done speaking?
I'm the phone at the 5,000.
And we are back with our backyard plug sessions, ladies and gentlemen at home. We are fortunate enough to be graced by her elegance, Sis Annalisa Zono. Just say hi to the people at home.
Hello to the people at home.
Yes. Sis Annalisa,
Yes.
basically what we do with our backyard plug sessions is we find out what you think of the backyard empowerment sessions, the Poiki Sundays. How do you feel about the initiative? And then plug us a bit on your business, because some of us know that the Eastern Cape Hustlers Awards took place. Some of us didn't get an invite. Looking at you, sis. But next time maybe we might be invited. So please do go ahead. Please tell us, man.
Initiatives as in Jengena Budwam, they're really what society needs nowadays. We really need anything that is for empowerment of the people, more especially the youth, and initiatives that are also accessible to the people, because majority of times there's so many initiatives that are made, that are created so that they may be able to assist people, but at times are not accessible to a normal and an ordinary person. But this one was created, and it is very easy to access through social media, through a normal visit, and uze ekwigni akomdunga yazi ukwigni apikoyo, and what you guys do. So these initiatives mazenziwe ziqhube, so that many other people out there, young and old, can benefit from them. And yes, with regards to the Eastern Cape Hustlers Award, it was one of those initiatives that were the hardest. Yeah, it was a mountain, but Kendizauti si tutulile yabe iyadlula with its own challenges. But one thing I'm grateful for and I'm happy about the most is that the Eastern Cape Hustlers Awards beneficiaries, kwindawo abakuzo ngoku, they are more than happy and excited, and this was about them, nothing else. And if bona, the people whom we did this for, are happy, satisfied, and their lives are about to be changed, then I've done my job, Mntase. Everything else that comes with it, which would be challenges and problems, it comes with the territory. But the main people this was about, they can attest to what I'm saying. Even in the near future, kuninzi okuseza kwenzeka. And thank you so much, CJ.
We aren't done with you, actually, because I feel like there's a
Okay.
couple of things that we need, because
Yes.
It just reminds me of a quote that says anything worth doing
Yeah.
is never easy.
Yay.
It's
Wana.
never easy, but that just shows the worth in it.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
You've gone through the teething phase.
Yes.
You've understood what it is to actually do such an event. So maybe next year, bigger and better.
It's not even a matter of it might be. It will
yes,
be.
yes. Speak
It
it
will
into
be.
existence.
And I lived by a quote from Utadu Nelson Mandela throughout this year in the planning of this entire Hustlers Awards that says it always seems impossible until it is done.
Until it
It
is
was
done.
impossible, but finally it was done.
It was done.
Yes.
Annalisa,
Yes.
plug us. Where can we follow you? Where can we find you? Such a powerful woman in business. Please put us on.
Sis Lisa Zondo Betuna, she's got a business. Follow, like, and subscribe. Good business yakhe. It's called Eastern Cape Indaba, but the abbreviation yayo on Facebook, it's EC Indaba. And on our website, it's www.ecindaba.co.za. We are on Instagram, but we're still growing there. Sikona as well as on YouTube. Naku YouTube is still EC Indaba. Me as an individual, Kendengulisa Zono. I'm still an upcoming and growing individual. But iskakhulu, my assignment isn't about me, but this is about others.
My name is Qhakaza Mntase, and I'm happy to be here. So most importantly, I'm happy because it makes us connect. It introduces us to a lot of things that we didn't really know. So it exposes us to a lot of things.
Yes, yes.
It's informative, and we're happy to have such a lovely initiative.
Sezam, please tell the viewers watching at home what is the importance of networking.
It's important because you get to meet people and you get to expose yourself. For instance, if you're doing a business, you get to expose yourself and you get to advertise, to market your business. So yeah.
Hello everyone. First of all, my name is Pila. Everyone knows me as Princess. I'm the owner of Qhakaza Mntase collection. Okay, I've been coming here quite for a lot of times. And ndifumane ukhula kakhulu. First of all, apha kuyasharewa i-ideas ne. So ndive izinto that I didn't know uba ndingazenza kwi-business yam. And andixelelwanga nje as isitsho into ba Qhakaza Mntase. Apho uyaqhakaziswa. Uyaxelelwa what to do. Njengoba ke ngoku uxelelwe abakuxeleli nje then ube lost ba okay yenza phi bayakwenzisa uyancediswa ba okay you need to do ibhena yenziwa phi esilulo fonela ubani nobani kwenzeke kanje you know. So xa usiza ufika the different faces uza ufika kukho abantu bokuqala ne then xa uphinda usiza kukho abanye and they have different ideas bonke abantu. So yeah, ndiye ndafumana ke ngoba ndikhule and bayathatha inamba zam then yeah.
As you've heard from Nkosazana herself, there is growth, there is information sharing, there is networking opportunities for you guys. So please come down to the backyard empowerment sessions here at the Smart Diva Accommodations at Equigny, East London. And I think that is it for us. Thank you so much for your time, and we out.